Project number 1, the speech to inform, from the Advanced Manual, Speaking to Inform. Our speaker says retirement is a marvelous time of life. When the sun rises, I don't. That's Jack speaking. I just yawn, stretch, roll over, and go back to sleep. However, some of you may not be as fortunate. Please help me welcome Jack Revere.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and future retirees. Retirement is great. It gives me the opportunity to drink a little beer and ponder some of the great philosophers. Recently, I was contemplating a contemporary philosopher, the Wizard of Id. He's high on his balcony, looking down at the peasants below, proclaiming, "You get out of life exactly what you put into it." The peasants are looking up with a bewildered look on their face. "What about Social Security?" The wizard replies, "There's an exception to every rule." My thoughts wandered back to the mid-40s, and I heard my father saying, "They're stealing our money. It'll never be there." But then he had no love for FDR or the New Deal, and he distrusted all politicians. Yet I wondered, was my dad as wise as the Wizard of Iz? My curiosity led me to biography.com. In 1934, an Italian immigrant was released from federal prison after spending 14 years. His crime was conning millions of dollars out of investors and repaying and using the incoming money to pay the previous investors. The next year, in 1935, he was deported. In 1935, there were more workers and fewer retirees in the U.S., and few people lived past the age of 65. A perfect scenario for a pay-as-you-go scam. FDR and the New Dealers took full advantage of it. They enacted the Social Security Act, officially known as the Old Age and Survivors Insurance. They insured the skepticals with words like insurance and trust fund. I wondered, is insurance really safe? Well, according to the 10th edition of the college textbook, Economics, Private and Public Choice, private insurance companies and pension plans invest the current payment of customers in buildings, farms, and other real assets. Alternatively, they buy stocks and bonds that finance the development of real assets. These assets generate income that allows the pension fund or insurance company to fulfill its future obligations to its customers. Is insurance safe? Yeah, insurance is safe. However, they go on to say, Social Security does not follow this savings and investment principle. Instead, funds flowing into the system are paid out to current retirees and survivors in the program. Thus, the system is based on a pay-as-you-go model rather than a savings and investment principle. A pay-as-you-go model, just like the one Ponzi was sent to prison for. Just took a few years before people began to realize that they were duped. They realized that the money going in for their retirement was being used to finance the government. To quell them, the New Deal Congress quickly passed the Social Security Trust Fund. According to economics, private and public choice, under the current law, surplus funds are channeled into the Social Security Trust Fund. The trust fund uses the revenue to buy special, non-marketable bonds of the U.S. Treasury. But unlike the bonds, stocks, and physical assets held by private pension funds or insurance companies, the Social Security Trust Fund will not generate a stream of future income for the federal government. Neither are they a pot of money set aside for the payment of future benefits. Instead, the trust fund bonds are IOUs from one government agency, the Treasury, to another, the Social Security Administration. The federal government is both payee and recipient of the interest and principal represented by the Social Security Trust Fund. No matter how many bonds are in the trust fund, their net asset value to the federal government is zero. In his book, Basic Economics, Thomas Sowell, a fellow at the Hoover Institute, explains it this way. The illusion of investment is maintained by giving Social Security Trust Fund government bonds exchange for money that is taken from it and spent on current government programs. According to procedures, accounting procedures may make it seem that there is an investment when the Social Security system holds government bonds, but the economic reality is that neither the government nor anyone else can spend and save the same money. If you are going to retire, if you plan on retiring, you better plan ahead. Use your logic, reason, and common sense. And whatever you do, question everything any politician says. Fellow Toastmasters and future retirees, don't laugh at the Wizard of Oz. Mr. Toastmaster.